It is July 2025. Gillette Stadium is packed. Phone flashlights are swaying in the dark, and thousands of fans are caught up in the chaotic energy of a live concert. Between songs, the Jumbotron kiss cam sweeps over the audience, capturing waves and cheers. Then it freezes on one specific couple. The moment they realize their faces are projected 50 feet high, sheer panic sets in. The man violently ducks out of frame, and the woman spins around to hide her face. The crowd murmurs in confusion as they stare at the screen. Chris Martin leans into the microphone and offers an off-the-cuff joke, guessing they are either shy or having an affair. That tiny, awkward interaction was recorded on thousands of smartphones. It escaped the stadium almost instantly, sweeping across TikTok, X, and Instagram, racking up tens of millions of views within 24 hours. In the modern digital age, you can go from sitting anonymously in a crowd to being the subject of a global, uncontainable public spectacle in less than a day. Internet sleuths went to work, and the couple was identified almost immediately. They were the CEO and the chief people officer of a data infrastructure firm called Astronomer. Both of the executives were already married to other people. The structure of their professional relationship created a deeply ironic hook. The head of the company and the executive in charge of enforcing human resources were caught on the most public camera imaginable. As the clip multiplied across the internet, so did the commentary. Sports mascots reenacted the routine, late-night hosts monologued about it, and attached to every joke was Astronomer's name. For any corporate PR professional watching this unfold, the standard crisis playbook dictates exactly one response: say absolutely nothing. Maintain total silence, retreat from the public eye, and pray the news cycle moves on. But the standard playbook had a fatal flaw. Astronomers couldn't fight the joke because the event actually happened. But if they ignored it, the internet would cement their corporate identity as a permanent punchline. Behind closed doors, in the tense days following the concert, Astronomer's leadership team faced an impossible trap. The company moved swiftly to address the internal fallout. Both the CEO and the chief people officer submitted their resignations immediately. To stabilize the shaken firm, one of the original co-founders stepped in as interim chief executive, signaling to employees and investors that a steady hand was at the wheel. This chart shows the necessary process of brand severance. The two red nodes represent the involved executives, which are entirely detached from the core structure. By excising the individuals responsible, the company protected the isolated blue node, the corporate brand itself. Delivering rapid, severe consequences proved that the company took the ethical breach seriously. That structural foundation of accountability cleared the path for what they were about to do next. Just days after the resignations, Astronomer released a direct response video. They produced it in partnership with Maximum Effort, the advertising agency co-founded by Ryan Reynolds, known for highly reactive, culture-jacking campaigns. The video introduced Astronomer's very temporary, highly specific new spokesperson. They hired Oscar-winning actress Gwyneth Paltrow, who also happens to be Chris Martin's ex-wife. The premise of the ad is completely deadpan. Paltrow sits in a serene, brightly lit corporate office, politely announcing that she is here to answer the exact questions everyone has been asking. A salacious, gossip-heavy question begins typing across the bottom of the screen. Paltrow effortlessly cuts it off to calmly explain what Astronomer actually sells: data workflow automation, which is software that helps developers schedule and monitor how massive amounts of information move between different databases. Appreciative tone. The ad acknowledges the massive elephant in the room purely through the casting choice. It delivers a perfect inside joke to the audience, while flatly refusing to feed any actual gossip or mention the scandal itself. This maneuver captured millions of eyeballs looking for drama, and seamlessly converted that toxic, borrowed attention into a massive, globally scaled product awareness campaign. Astronomer pulled off this pivot by following strict strategic rules. First is separation. Trying to deploy humor before establishing consequences is fatal. Accountability must always precede comedy. Next is timing. The curve shows rapid decay of viral attention. By responding in days, Astronomer placed their intervention directly at the peak. Third is casting. This chart shows audience shifting from gossip to product awareness. The brand acknowledged the joke without a single defensive word. The final pillar is redirection. In 2018, KFC ran their FCK ad to apologize for running out of chicken, using humor to deflect operational failure. Astronomer faced a much harder task. They had to target the sheer absurdity of a deeply human scandal rather than a broken supply chain. Threading that delicate needle proves that humor can rebuild trust even in a deeply personal crisis, provided the target of the joke is the situation itself and never the individuals involved. By refusing to hide, a global PR disaster was averted. Instead, millions of people were suddenly educated on a highly niche tech infrastructure product they would have never otherwise known existed. Navigating modern digital crises requires a harsh reality. It is impossible to delete the internet, and a digital footprint cannot be erased through silence. There is an alternative strategy available to those willing to use it. Viral attention, even when accidentally earned, can be deliberately aimed. In the attention economy, the brands that survive ruin aren't those that hide in panic. They are the ones possessing the strategic confidence to take the microphone, stand in front of the crowd, and change the subject.